Hey there, comic book fans. It's Rusty again with Collector Auctions. I'm headed down to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland for another new comic book day. You got some pretty good books coming out this week, some really cool covers. And luckily for me, the only things that I'm looking to pick up are a few new variants that I didn't pre-order, as well as a few books that weren't on my radar 2 to 3 months ago when I did do that pre-order with my subscription service, M&M Comics. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and picking up the books that I need. I'll shoot some footage while I'm in the store, mostly just of the new comic books. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to check out one of my previous episodes where I did a walkthrough through Third Eye Comics. This is their flagship station, their main store that's in Annapolis, Maryland. And I usually use this as my go-to place each and every week for new comic books. And the reason I do that is because they have so many stores in the area that they buy a lot of new comic books, meaning they buy a lot of new variants and they get a lot of ratios. So that's why I use them for new comic book day. And definitely it's a good time when you go down there. I hope you guys get a chance to check out that video, and I hope you get a chance to visit any of the stores at some point. But I'm going to go down, I'll shoot some footage, I'll pick up some new comic books. Once I get home, I'll sit down and I'll show off everything that I pick up. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. This amazing new comic book day. Like I said, I had already pre-ordered everything that I thought I wanted, knowing that there was going to be a few things that I didn't pre-order that weren't on my radar, and that's exactly what happened today. There were definitely some really cool books in there that were not on my radar, and I definitely picked those up, as well as some variant covers that I really liked as well. So give me a moment to get home and I will show off everything that I picked up from this new comic book day.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, everybody, I made it back home, bagged and boarded all the new comics that I picked up. I think I got some pretty cool things this week, so you guys will have to let me know. First thing I picked up, and I was going to get this series anyway. I haven't been pre-ordering it, but I discovered it after the first issue came out, and that was the Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin. And I've been picking this up because DeMatteis has been writing this, and as I've talked about before, I really enjoy when some of the older creators come back and do some of these in continuity stories within a story from the past. The older writers seem to have the voice of the character a lot better than some of the newer writers do. And so I've been enjoying this. But what I really enjoyed was the variant Greg and Tim Hildebrandt cover of the Green Goblin right there from their Marvel Masterpieces cards. That right there is striking. I'm not as big a fan of the Hildebrandts as I am, say, a Joe Jusko, but this right here was fantastic, and man, if I ever get to meet the Hildebrandts, that is a book that's going to get signed right there. I also picked up the Bloodline, or excuse me, the Blood Hunt number 3. This is the Red Line bagged edition. I had been collecting the regular issue, and then I've been buying the Red Line editions as well. I actually haven't opened these up. You guys will have to let me know if you've open these up. Does it affect the story much? I don't know because I've left them bagged at this point, but I'd be curious to know that. I also picked up the second issue of Deadpool Wolverine World War III, and this is a book I normally wouldn't have gone in on, except, I don't know, I just fell in love with this current version of Adam Kubert's artwork. These have been fantastic. I've enjoyed this, and especially with the movie coming out in probably just a little over a month. I don't know, I kind of enjoyed these. So I've been picking this up. It's actually fun to actually get back into a Wolverine or an X-Men book a little bit and enjoy the artwork. I mean, Adam Kubert is I wouldn't say quite a legend, but he is definitely much better than a lot of the stock of artists that we have these days. Fantastic stuff. I just got to meet his brother Andy up in Philadelphia at the Fan Expo, and yeah, I'm kind of excited about continuing reading this book. I did pick up this. Now, normally on a lot of independent books, here, let me set these down. I'm making a mess. A lot of these independent books like this, this is from Image, this is Crocodile Black. I wouldn't have probably continued with this. Just, I pick up the number 1. If it turns out it's a hot series, I go back and pick them up maybe. But Philip Kennedy Johnson was at Third Eye Comics for the release of issue number 1, and it was really cool meeting him. And I got those issues signed, first issues and everything, and I think he's going to be at Baltimore Comic-Con as well. And I was intrigued by the story when I read it. I read it because I was going to get to meet him, but I continue this because I am definitely a little bit of a fan of the writer right now, so I went ahead and picked this up. Now, I can't say I'm a fan of Steve Orlando's Scarlet Witch, the first series, but I do enjoy the artwork, and I'm a big fan of number 1s and great covers, so I picked up the first issue of the Scarlet Witch right here, the regular issue, but I also picked up the Skottie Young variant as well, and that is really cool. Sorry about the glare there, guys. Let me see if I can adjust that just a little bit. And all right, it's a little bit of an angle, but it gets the glare down just a touch. But that wasn't the only cool cover that the Scarlet Witch had this week. And this right here, fantastic, by Jenny Frison. And it looks like Jenny Frison's going to be at Marvel doing a lot of covers. She just did the first issue to the new, I guess it's Spider-Ghost, the new Spider-Gwen, I don't know, what is it called? What was that series? Whatever it is, the new Spider-Gwen series. Beautiful cover on that. This one's just as gorgeous. And then, speaking of Skottie Young, I've got some of these pre-ordered, but I went ahead and jumped in, and some of these were not new from this week, but they still had them on the new comic book wall, and they're pushing, I mean, these last few weeks are really big on the Skottie Young variant covers, and I went ahead and picked up a copy of the Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 51 with Spider-Man and Blood Hunt Wolverine number 1. Can't go wrong with Marvel's 2 most popular characters right there. This is pretty cool. I may save this the next time I get to meet Skottie Young. These covers right here, the reason I picked up extra of these, and I know I pre-ordered these from my subscription service, but I went ahead and got extra copies just to have on hand if I ever get a chance to meet Skottie Young again. And Then the last two new comic books for this week were things that were not even on my radar. I think I mentioned that on the ride home. I said that there were some things in there that were on my radar, some variant covers like those Scarlet Witches, but there were a couple things that were not on the radar at all. They weren't on radar when my pre-order, and they weren't on my radar even walking in. And it's from IDW. I don't buy a lot of books from IDW, but when I see Usagi Yojimbo with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even if Stan Sakai is not doing it, I had to get this. This is cover A and cover B. Usagi Yojimbo has been my favorite comic book character over the last probably 20 years. Stan Sakai is probably one of the greatest creators out there in terms of just his quality of work. It has never really dipped. Much, you can't even say that about some of the greatest Hall of Fame type creators out there. Most creators have this lull in their career where it's poo-poo, its qualities drop. But I dare you to go to any of Stan's Usagi's stories over the last 20 to 30 years even, and tell me where there's a dip in quality. I would love to know that. I could have that debate all day long. Probably I would just poo-poo on you too if that's what you have to say about that. But I'm such a big fan of his, and what a nice person. I hope to get a chance to see him again at a con sometime soon. But that was not the last comic books I picked up for today. I did pick up Dawn of DC. I guess this is Harley Quinn number 28. I've been collecting some of the Jenny Frison covers. There was a signing at CGC just recently, and she is going to be at Heroes Con. And by the time this comes out, the con's already going to be over. I don't think I'm going to get to go. I'm not sure yet. But I wanted to have some of these really cool DC comics from Jenny Frison. Harley Quinns are really good, but then I've got some Catwoman covers that are just fantastic, and some Poison Ivy covers as well. So I want to have those on hand just in case I get to go to Heroes Con. If I don't get to go, I'll save them for a future signing at some point, and you can't go wrong with really cool Jenny Frison covers. I guess it's a Skottie Young and Jenny Frison kind of variant week this week at New Comic Book Day. But guys, that's it for today. Quick video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed some of the footage from Third Eye Comics. Guys, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about all the new comics I picked up and what you are picking up for this New Comic Book Day. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining me. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, definitely hit the like, slap the subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the episodes that I put out each and every week, Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you for the next show. And remember, every comic has a story.